Hey everyone, my name is Ben Gramico. I'm from INTERNACHI. That's the International Association of Certified Home Inspectors. And we do free online live interactive webinars all the time. Sometimes I do some presentations and sometimes we have a special guest. And today we do have a special guest. It's Dave Klima from Indiana. He has a home inspection company, Aardvark Home Inspectors. And he also has another idea for us home inspectors to think about, a program, and he's going to talk about it today on how to it's about pre-listing inspections, it's about networking with real estate agents, it's about business and marketing and additional revenue streams and all that good stuff. So if you are interested in all that, stick around. Ask questions right now, before the presentation, during the presentation, afterwards, and Dave's going to handle the questions later. Dave, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you're a busy fella, and you're an INTERNACHI member, you're a home inspector, and you're a business person. And I really appreciate taking the time out and talk to us on INTERNACHI webinars.
Well, hey, Ben, thanks for letting me come on today. I really appreciate it. And I am a coach and mentor at heart. So I love sharing a lot of the ideas that we've used over the years to be successful. You know, some home inspectors know me a little bit because I've given presentations at conferences. But for those of you that don't know me, we started our company in 1998 with $1,000 in a 12 by 12 room. And fast forward to today, we're a multi-million dollar company. We have 42 employees. We do home inspections. We do radon testing, install radon mitigation systems. We do mold testing, do a little bit of mold remediation work. We have a full service termite and pest control company. And I'm not the smartest guy in our industry. I never professed to be. And if we can be successful, you can be successful. And today I want to talk to you about the Inspected Houses platform, which is a platform that I created. But I don't want you to feel like this is like some huge sales pitch. Whether you sign up for or not for this program, if you friend me on Facebook and you send me private messages and you need any kind of help at all, I'd love to do help you as much as I can, because again, I'm a coach and mentor at heart. So what I want to do is I definitely want to talk about the Inspected Houses platform here. And and my mission today is really, again, to be as educational as I can and to teach you something that 90% of home inspectors don't know. I want to offer you some words of encouragement and inspiration. Again, you can be as successful as you want to be in this industry. There's a lot of great training at INTERNACHI, and I would encourage all of you guys to take advantage of that. But again, calling guys like myself who've been around in the industry for a long time and been successful, I would encourage you to, to reach out to some people and learn some things from them too. Okay. Um, let's see. Today, I want you to think about, how you're currently doing business. And we're going to talk about, a lot of marketing things as we go through this presentation today. I want you to think about there's things that you can do better to create better real estate experiences for you and your clients, right? And maybe even your referring agents. And I want to show you how home inspectors in RESPA compliant ways and home inspector, ethic compliant ways can be an agent's best extended business partner. And I get it. When you hear that, you're like, oh, we don't work for real estate agents. And I guarantee you, we don't work for real estate agents. I never want that impression. But we do have a mutual client. And there's no reason why we can't work with that real estate agent to give our mutual clients a great real estate experience. And so we'll talk a little bit about that. I definitely want to teach you the benefits of pre-listing home inspections. I mean, that's one big leg of the inspectedhouses.com platform is to try and promote and perform pre-listing home inspections. And I want to show you how real estate agents and home inspectors can work together to end a lot of the anger and anxiety and uncertainty in the home buying and selling process. And I want to teach you some things that we do in our own company that have helped us be successful. And for years, I've been, probably over a decade, I've been promoting, the concept of pre-listing home inspections to real estate agents and kind of been butting my head against the wall, it seems like. So, you know what? I ran across this quote by Socrates who says, the secret to change is to focus all your energy, not on fighting the old, but on building the new. So I was like, okay, well, if the real estate agents don't want to change the message that they're giving to the general public, I'm going to build a marketing tool and create our own message. And that's really what we did with the Inspected Houses platform. And I started this platform because, one, I wanted a niche in my own market. I wanted a unique selling point in my own market for my own home inspection company. And we have 42 families to feed, and I need to keep using innovative technology to stay ahead of the curve and be in front of the competition and to keep our phones ringing. So I definitely wanted a niche. And anyone that signs up for Inspected Houses will have a niche, because we've publicly stated we're not going to sign up more than 10% of inspectors per market. And I wanted to change the timing of when we connect with buyers and sellers. If you think about it, a lot of times we don't connect with buyers or sellers until they've already met the real estate agent. Well, with this platform, we're actually finding ways to connect with buyers and sellers before the agent does. And that helps us reduce, how much we rely on real estate agents, for referrals. I wanted to change, the realtor inspector relationship. Sometimes, as a home inspector, we get the impression from realtors that they're way up here and we're way down there. And nothing should be farther from the truth. I mean, we take classes, we pass tests, we carry insurance, we do continuing ed. We're licensed, we're insured, we employ people. Most real estate agents don't employ anyone. So we're business professionals, and we're involved in 90% of real estate transactions when we do home inspections. So we should be viewed as equals, not that we're lesser than the real estate agent. So I wanted to change that relationship. I definitely wanted a tool to be more valuable to real estate agents in a RESPA compliant way, in a home inspector law compliant way. There's a lot of you listening to this that do market to real estate agents, and there's some of you that will say you'll never market to real estate agents, and that's fine. You can use this tool either way. But if you're marketing to real estate agents, this is a great tool to use. I'll show you why when we get more into the presentation. I also started this program because I was sick of real estate agents labeling home inspectors as deal killers. When we go out and inspect a house, we're just doing our job. We're informing people of, roofing issues, plumbing issues, electrical deficiencies, whatever the case may be. It's not our fault that those deficiencies are there. And it's not our fault that a buyer gets scared because of the amount of deficiencies in a house. So by performing pre-listing home inspections, we're eliminating that word deal killer. As a matter of fact, I've never, ever had a deal get killed when we've done a pre-listing home inspection. I definitely want to change the culture of real estate and end a lot of the anger and anxiety and uncertainty, that's in the process. And there's actually a lot of tech companies out there that may not have our industry's best interest at heart, who are, saying that the real estate industry is broken, the way houses are sold is wrong. And, like Zillow Instant Offers, for example, right? Go look up all the things that are saying. So technology is entering the industry, and I knew that it was going to years ago. So that's why I started this platform, because I'm like, if technology is coming to the industry, why not, create a really cool platform for inspectors to use, and, have a platform that's, owned by the inspection, community, so to speak. And with this platform, you'll understand that the only way any real estate agent can use it is if they go through a home inspector. That's how I built it to work. So the home inspector is always going to be the gatekeeper of this platform. Okay. And then, of course, I wanted a unique marketing tool, that will help in a down economy and in a changing market. And I'm going to be the first one to tell you that this platform is going to be even better in a buyer's market than it is in a seller's market. Right now it's so easy for sellers and agents to sell houses. Maybe pre-listing home inspections isn't, one of the top things they're thinking about, right? But if it's a buyer's market and houses are sitting on the market longer, then yes, this tool becomes more valuable. Okay. And then again, I wanted a tool to connect directly with buyers and sellers versus just, relying on real estate agents for referrals. Okay. So when we talk about marketing, let's decide what marketing is, and then let's talk about some of the things that we do as home inspectors when we market. Okay. So basically the definition: marketing is an activity and process for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners, and society at large. Honest to goodness, I think the Inspected Houses platform, checks all of those boxes. Okay. When we market, in our home inspection industry, we're marketing obviously to get our phones to ring and to try and, build our sales. But honestly, I think we're marketing to build our reputation and brand awareness, and not every piece of marketing that we do is going to generate an immediate sale. We're trying to create some top of mind awareness. And I think that many of you don't understand that, right? And what's really cool about this platform, and I'm going to show you later, is we now have a system where we can get our logo in a yard of a house that's for sale for 30 to 90 days at a time. So now anyone driving by that house sees our logo. They might not call us for an inspection, but they see our logo. Any real estate agent walking up that driveway sees our logo. Any buyer walking up that driveway sees our logo. Maybe they'll call us off the sign, maybe they won't. But again, it's a really cheap form of advertising and marketing and building top of mind awareness. Okay. As a home inspector, who are we generally marketing to? Well, at Aardvark, we obviously market to agents and we market to buyers. But we're also, marketing to other people, mortgage companies. We'll go talk to them. You can go market to attorneys, like divorce attorneys. Obviously, a house is going to have to get sold, an estate attorney. So think about, all the different people, that you can market to, not just, agents and buyers. Okay. And when we go out and market to these people, how are we really doing it? Well, I mean, we could do mass emails, to agents, but only 20% of people will open up a mass email. Okay. We can drop off flyers at offices. Sometimes those flyers get thrown in the trash. We can do, one-on-one coffee meetings. We can do CE presentations. We can do office presentations and bring in lunch and all that kind of stuff. So we've done all, some guys will deliver the candy bowls just to get into offices, but marketing has changed over the years, because back in the day when we started, we could walk in an office and there'd be 30, 40 agents in an office, and we could, talk to a bunch of different agents and start a relationship or strengthen an existing relationship. But now nobody's in offices. The real estate agents are working from home. I went and visited 3 offices last week, and I got to see 2 agents, and those were the only 2 in the office besides, the gatekeeper. So it's really changed a lot. And so that's why I like this platform, because, it helps us do some automated and ongoing text marketing messages to real estate agents. And it's all FCC compliant. You technically can't be sending marketing messages that are unsolicited via text. Okay. So with our system, we actually get real estate agents to text in, and, the FCC looks at that as someone opting in for communication. And then our system will automatically, text message them on a monthly basis, bi-monthly basis, whatever you want to set up. And those messages can be anything that you want them to see. So maybe if we have time, I'll show you the back end of how that works today. Okay. Ask yourself this: why don't we, as home inspectors, do passive marketing like postcards and commercials and billboards and, radio ads? Well, for us, we've never really gotten into it because, there's only so many people, buying a house, so many people at that, moment. Now, it might be good for us to do it to build that top of mind awareness, but the ROI to me has never been really worth it. Okay. But what's really cool is if you can do targeted marketing. And that's why having a sign in a yard with your logo on it is a great way to do marketing, because now it's targeted. Anyone walking up that driveway, buyer or an agent, is your target market. That's who you want to reach. So to have their eyeballs on your logo is awesome. Okay. Why don't we market to sellers? Think about that. Why don't you market to sellers? I mean, sellers selling their house, but they got to buy one somewhere. So we traditionally focus on buyers, but why not start focusing on sellers? And that's what this platform has really done for us, is we were able to start marketing to sellers and getting a seller's inspection, but then also doing the inspection on the house that they were buying. But it got even better with this platform because now we had our logo in the yard and with some special text codes that we create on our signs, which I'll demonstrate to you later. And now we were getting buyer leads and we were able to, market directly to those buyers. So my record is 11 leads off of one sign, and those turned into 3 buyers inspections. So really, I did a seller inspection. I did the inspection for the seller in the house they're buying. Plus I did 3 more. So in essence, we turned 1 inspection into 5 with this platform. Now that's my record. I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to happen for you all the time like that, but you will be able to connect with buyers directly with this program. Okay. So let's go, to this slide right here. We all want to stand out in a crowd. We all want a USP. We want something that makes us unique and different, correct? And when we go out and market to, real estate agents, what do we say to them? What do we say to real estate agents? What are you saying that's unique and different? Here's what we say. I'm the best home inspector in the world. Guess what? They've heard that from every other home inspector. Never in the history of a home inspector doing a presentation has the home inspector said, I'm just kind of like an average home inspector, maybe bottom of the barrel kind of guy, and I'm going to freak your client out and kill your deal. Nobody has ever said that. We all say the same thing. I'm the best home inspector in the world, right? What else do agents hear us say when we go do presentations? Hey, send me some business. Send me some referrals so I can feed my family and pay my bills. Give me, right? That's what they're hearing from us when we do presentations. And why in God's green earth would an agent want to meet with you and hear the same thing over again, right? You might get some new agents to meet with you and listen to that pitch, but you're not going to get the experienced agents to do that, right? So how are you going to get agents to give you the time of day? What are you going to say that's going to be unique? What are you going to do during your presentation to have them on automated and ongoing marketing? Well, that's what this system does for us, okay? So imagine being able to go into a real estate office and basically saying to them, hey, as a home inspector, I'm always asking you for business so I can feed my family and pay my bills. But up until now, I haven't really been able to help you get clients. Well, I just joined a new national program that allows me to market all of your listings, capture leads, drive leads to your listing, and drive leads to your own website. And this program works extremely well with pre-listing home inspections, which are becoming more and more popular. Currently, there's 3 different ways that we capture leads with this system. But instead of talking about it, I want you to experience it. Text demo to this number. That's it. That's the pitch. That's all you have to do. And then you do the demonstration with them, which I'm going to do with you right now. So what I want all of you to do is text info31 to 574-406-0288. So Ben, you need to do this. And I promise all of you, you're not going to get spam messages. You're not going to get, some guy calling you to try and sell you a car or anything like that. The only person, getting your lead is me. And then the only marketing message you get is just from the system showing you how the system will work with ongoing text messages. And there's only like 2 of them that you're going to get. One of them is actually going to be a link to sign up for this program and get a 3-month free trial. So if you text in, you're going to get a link to go to an inspected houses property page. And once you're there, you're going to be able to see, what that property page is like. So I'm getting a bunch of people texting in. So I got Ben's right here. And what I'm going to do is if everybody, I'm going to go over it. Yep. Now click on that link that says view property. So everybody click on that link that says view property. So you can go to the inspected houses property page. So you can see what it looks like now. So pretend you're the real estate agent and, I'm the home inspector giving, the presentation to them. I'm like, hey, if this was your listing, we just had a buyer text in, we drove them right to your listing, and you can see that we have the address of the house. We even can post a video to this property page. Zillow doesn't have videos on their property page. And if you hit the little white arrows, you can see, that we have your house photos there, just like any other home searching website. Now, if we scroll down underneath that, you can see that there's some comments. Now, those comments don't describe this house. They actually describe this system. Let me read those to you. and it's a built-in sales pitch for you guys. All you have to do is read these comments to the agent. Now, I'm not going to read these to you, but you can read them later and you'll understand what I'm saying. Now, so after you get done reading those comments, you come down here to where it says purchase home inspection report. And you say, now look, if we did a pre-listing home inspection report, we can load that report to this platform. And now it's kind of like Carfax for houses. Go ahead and click on that purchase report button. So they click on the button and you can see that that report is available for $20. Now, buyers are loving this platform because now they're able to make educated offers on houses versus uneducated offers on houses. And they're able to narrow down their searches based on, the condition of the house. So that's good for them. Sellers are loving this platform because when people narrow down the searches for their house, they have less tire kickers and looky-loos coming through their house. And they really appreciate that during COVID, right? But they get the money for that sold report. That's their report that we're helping them sell. So it's a way for them to recover some of the cost of the home inspection. So that's their benefit. But here's the best thing that happens for you, the real estate agent. You get that smoking hot, accurate buyer lead. When someone buys that report, that's a hot lead. They opened up their wallet. They're serious about the house. And it's an accurate lead because you can't buy something on the internet and give a fake name, fake phone number, fake address. So certainly this platform isn't going to produce the number of leads that, like, say, Zillow will or something like that. But these are the highest quality leads you're ever going to get. And they're the best leads you're ever going to get because you get them for free. If it's your listing, it's your lead. And, we all know that real estate agents spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a month looking for buyer leads. Well, guess what? With this platform, you get them for free. Now let's go back to the property page. So we go back there, we scroll down, you can see this is where the real estate agent would go. Now, unlike other home searching websites, only the listing agent is here. There's no premier agents or any of that kind of stuff. And as the real estate agent, you control all the data on this property page. So you can import your photo, your company logo, your email address, your phone number. You can even write a bio about yourself to tell everyone how great you are. You can't do that on other home searching sites, okay? Now, if we scroll down even farther, you can see that's where the home inspector is. Now, this is the home inspector's benefit. Obviously, when these leads come in, we get those leads, and that's our opportunity to market directly to that buyer. And then we also get some marketing or exposure of anyone looking for this house. And then we scroll down to the very bottom, there's a contact form. And if that contact form is filled out, maybe someone, just wants more information about the house, but they don't necessarily want to buy the report. Well, when that contact form is filled out, it creates a lead, which again, you're going to get instantly, you get automatically, and get for free. Okay. And inspected houses will never share or sell any kind of data that comes in. The only people getting that buyer lead are the home inspector and the agent associated with that property. Okay. So now people ask me, what about sign designs and what do you do? Okay. So this is what we've kind of evolved to, where we went to co-branded signs with the real estate agent. So it looks really nice in their color scheme. Our logo is on a sign, their logo is on a sign, and every sign has a unique code, right? So it could be like home 1, home 2, home 3. And if someone texts home 1, they go to that house. Home 2, they go to that house. Home 3, they go to that house. Now, once that house sells, you can reassign that code and reuse that sign at a different house, okay? But anyway, so what we do is we have the real estate agents, set out the signs and pick them up. We don't set out the signs, we don't pick them up. What we do on the back end is we just import the data into the system, which literally takes me 5 minutes. So if I have time later and you guys want me to create a property page and create a marketing code, I can show you how all that works. But really, 5 minutes worth of work is all you have to do on your end. Once you get an agent signed up and they're on board, you can do that. And, there's different signs that we can use and different messages that we can put on signs. And those signs can create leads where the real estate agent sign may not. So if you look at the sign on the left, it said, hey, this home's pre-inspected, text the code, report available. Well, guess what? A buyer may say to themselves, hey, you know what? This home's been pre-inspected. We can see the report. And they text in, right? Thinking that they can, see the report. Well, once they text in, that creates a lead, which you get instantly and automatically, just like all the leads I got when people started texting in. Okay. So the real estate agent loves that because they get that lead instantly and automatically too. And then the sign on the right, you can use this platform to market all houses, all of them. Okay. So if a house hasn't been pre-inspected, the purchase report button does not pop up on the property page. So you see the sign on the right, it says for house info, inspection discount, text that code. We actually got a lead off of a sign like that. And the person wasn't even interested in the house. And what happened is I called him up. I said, hey, this is David. You texted on that house on, I think it was, I don't know what street it was. Let's say Main Street. So you texted on that house on Main Street, you know, are you working with a real estate agent? And, you know, so I'd find out if they're working with an agent or not, and, you know, just go through the conversation. And, you know, I said, hey, so do you really like that house? And they said, no, I really didn't like the house. And I'm like, you don't? And he's like, no, we know that we're going to need a house somewhere. And we just wanted to text in to see what kind of inspection discount we could get. So giving the inspection discount actually created a lead for us, but it created a lead, you know, for the agent. And again, I can show you how, if we have time, when someone texts in, how we drive them or how we can drive them to a hidden discount page on our website. So if we have enough time, I'll go through that too. Okay. But those signs can produce leads. You can even, you know, make a sign like this. Many of you offer protection with the inspection. Some of you offer, you know, the buyback guarantee. So, you know, you could make a sign up and put the buyback guarantee logo on it and make that part of your pre-listing pitch to real estate agents. Hey, like, you know, if someone does a pre-listing home inspection with me, that buyer moves in the house, guess what? They're automatically protected with the buyback guarantee. So that's pretty awesome. You know, if some of you use RWS warranties, you can say, hey, this home's been pre-inspected and comes with a 5-year roof leak warranty, right? They also have an 18-month home warranty that's available. So you can make these signs up to be whatever you want. Okay. Now here's the magic question everyone asks me. Do these signs produce leads? Okay. So here is a screenshot of a realtor in my system. You can see there's 4 different properties. It may be hard to see on your computer screen, but the top one produced 3 leads. The next one, 6 leads. The next one, 6 leads. And the next one, 1 lead. So yes, the signs do produce leads. And here's the next question. Do those leads turn into clients? Okay. So this is what I always do. When I get the lead, I'll text the agent and say, hey, did you get that lead today? This agent said, yes, we spoke and I'm working on getting her approval. So yeah, they got the lead and yes, it turned into a client, right? Here's another one. Agent had us a house in the system and it created 2 leads. Okay. So again, hey, did you get that buyer lead? Yes, I did. I talked to her already. I'm going to help her and her husband find a house. Their lease is up in April. Thanks for checking in. Now, let me ask you something. Do you think real estate agents want to do business with maybe a home inspector who in a RESPA compliant way can get them leads and help them grow their business, grow their, you know, bottom line? Or do they want to do business with a home inspector that brings them candy that only grows their waistline? Right? So seriously, I did the candy thing. This is much cheaper. It's $49 a month. It's way cheaper than candy. And the return on investment is way better. And the agents love it. Okay. Here's another one. This isn't one of my agents. This is, you know, an agent in Ohio. And you can see that she had a house loaded and it produced 4 leads. So what I did is I Facebook messaged her and I said, hey, Gina, I heard you had a couple of leads off your house. One was a sold report and you already had the house under contract. She said, yeah, it's under contract. And the leads were the offers. And then I said, all right, cool. I saw in the system, the report was sold and you had some people texting, congrats, this is awesome. She's like, thanks. It went over a list price. The couple was very lenient with possession. So anyway, that basically shows you right there that, you know, the signs will produce leads. The leads can turn into sales. Okay. Let's go look in this next page. This next page is kind of what leads can look like in the back end. You know, when they come to the phone, they look one way, and when they come into your email, you know, they look a different way. So this was, you know, a lead that came in. Okay. Just another one. I'm not going to go through all of that stuff. And then here's a sold report. So this is what a sold report will look like. So, you know, inspectors always ask me, how do we know if there's a sold report? Well, you get the lead. You know there's a sold report because you get the lead, right? And on the back end, this is kind of what it looks like for us in inspected houses. When those leads come in, we get notified, hey, you had a sold report. We're able to identify what that report was for what address, and we're able to email that client and say, hey, you've had a sold report. How would you like to get paid? Right. And, there's different ways that we can pay people. But anyway, so this was a sold report, but check this out. This report was bought from a client that lived 263 miles away. They were in Memphis and they bought a report on a house that was for sale in Texarkana, right? So it's not just people local that are seeing, these houses, these property pages, right? So again, think about it. You have a buyer moving in from 260 miles away. That lead is created. That's your opportunity to market directly to that buyer. Okay. Um, so, I always tell, home inspectors and real estate agents, I show them this slide. Instead of risking anything new, you can play it safe and, you know, continue a slow decline into obsolescence, right? Because that's what's going to happen, right? If you just keep doing what you're doing, technology is going to pass us by. There's already companies out there trying, to eliminate a lot of the real estate industry. All these instant offers programs, Open Door, OfferPad, Knock.com. And if they're successful, what are they really doing to us? Well, they're diminishing our referral sources. I mean, if they get a strong foothold in the industry and now there's less real estate agents, well, guess what? That's less referral sources for us. Okay. So just think about that. You think about doing something new. It's not that expensive to try this program. So what I want to do is I want to, spend some time, again, whether you sign up for this program or not, I want to educate you about the benefits for pre-listing home inspections for agents, for sellers, for buyers, and, for us as home inspectors. And I think if you're going to, whether you use inspectedhouses.com or not, or even use InterNACHI's move-in certified program, which, is a cool program. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles we have, but that's a great program and it's free. Whether you use either one of those programs, you need to be able to explain the benefits of pre-listing inspections to, all the parties involved. Okay. So here's the thing. This program, the inspected houses program and the message and the concept of pre-listing home inspections helps agents get more listings. Absolutely. And we actually developed a script. So if you're a member of inspectedhouses.com, we developed a script that you can give to real estate agents that they can use at listing appointments to explain all the programs. We also have marketing flyers that we use that we share with people, again, that you can create with your agent and they can use that flyer at listing appointments, right? So it helps them get listings. It helps them get more buyers to work with. It increases their chances of getting both sides of the transaction. Now, in some markets, real estate agents aren't allowed to get both sides of the transaction, and that's okay. But if you think about it, if they got 4 buyer leads off their listing, only one person can buy that house. Well, now they have 3 other buyers that they can try and sell a different house to. Okay. So that's one of their biggest benefits. Okay. Another benefit is they don't have to spend 50% of their real estate life putting out home inspection fires. I'm not going to sit here and profess that if you do a pre-listing home inspection, they won't have anything to deal with when the buyer's inspector comes along, but their life is a lot easier if they went from 20 deficiencies to deal with down to 1 or 2. And that's usually what happens. Okay. They don't have to worry about the deal falling through, at least due to the home inspection. Again, if you go out and you do a high quality home inspection, you're going to find all the major things. Any home inspector can come behind you and find something little, but those aren't going to be the deal breakers. Okay. And we actually have a way to deal with another inspector come behind you, which we'll talk about, near the end. Agents don't have to dip in their own pocket just to get deals to close. Sometimes after we do the inspection for the buyer, there's that second round of negotiations and the seller's already come down as much as they're coming down. The buyer's gone up as much as they're coming up. There's a gap. Well, sometimes the agents will pay for that termite treatment or that radon job, or, whatever needs to get fixed. They'll each dip into their own pocket just to get the deal to close, because they'd rather get the deal to close than to start all over. And they'd rather get paid something than not get paid anything. Well, this program eliminates that from happening. Okay. Agents are going to have happier clients and sell houses faster and sell houses for more money. And what I actually will do, if you sign up for the program and you get agents, to come to a Zoom meeting, I'll come on and explain the program to them for you. And I've had agents tell me on some of these Zoom meetings that, even though the house closes and they get to the closing table, their sellers aren't happy. They reluctantly agreed to close on the house because they didn't want to start all over, but they weren't happy. They didn't get all the money that they thought they were going to get. And the same thing for buyers. Sometimes buyers reluctantly agree to close on a house because, they don't have anywhere else to go. And now they're closing on a house, which has a bunch of deficiencies that they weren't counting on having. So, this program creates a better real estate experience for everyone involved in the transaction. Okay. And then agents in a hot or a slow market, they can use this system. It's kind of like a 24/7 open house. They can use this system to get buyers to work with. Okay. So those are some of the benefits. And again, you need to get good at explaining the benefits to the agents if you want to get them on board with pre-listing inspections. Okay. Now, what are the benefits for the sellers? Okay. First thing is the seller can say, hey, look, in the interest of full disclosure, we had the house inspected. Here's everything that we know that's wrong with the house. We're fixing X, Y, and Z. We're not fixing anything else. Please make your offer accordingly. So guess what? They're now in control of the negotiations versus the buyer who says, hey, look, we had our inspection done. We want X, Y, and Z fixed, or we're not buying the house. Right? So you see how powerful this can be for sellers if they know what's wrong up front. They get to dictate up front what they're fixing and not fixing. And, they also get to look more transparent. I mean, let's be honest. If you've ever seen a disclosure form filled out by a seller, it says, don't know, don't know, don't know. Like, does your roof leak? Don't know. Does your foundation leak? Don't know. How can you live in a house for 15 years and not know if your foundation leaks? Right? So this is a way for them to be more transparent. And there's actually companies, these tech companies that are infiltrating the market, they're kind of promoting this concept and they're calling them transparency reports. It's actually a good name for it. So, anyway, just keep that in mind. All right. The seller is technically more legally protected. I mean, what in our industry, what are we really doing for a buyer and a seller and a real estate agent when we do a pre-listing home inspection? We're basically, giving people a layer of protection. I mean, it kind of stinks that we're the least paid person in the transaction and have the most liability, but that's the nature of the game, right? People are relying on us, when we do a buyer's inspection, they're relying on us to give them a good report. So when they walk in the house, they're not walking into a bunch of unforeseen and undisclosed, deficiencies. Okay. So this is a way, again, for a seller to be more legally protected versus just filling out a disclosure form. Okay. Sellers worry much less about, deals being killed and missing out on their next house. And if you ask me, that's the worst thing about the way real estate is sold is, a buyer's inspection done so late in the process can not just ruin one deal, but it could ruin another deal. Sellers are counting on a closing to happen on the house they live in order to buy their dream house. And sometimes that buyer's inspection done late in the process messes that up. Okay. Buyers can save money by building repair costs into the price of the house. So if they know, for example, they need a new roof, well, they could say, hey, $250 with a new roof, $230 the way it sits, right? But once they accept an offer for $230 and then they find out they need a new roof, they can't go back and change the price. So when they know about things up front, they can, budget and plan accordingly. They can also save money by having time to shop around and get better repair prices. Okay. So in my market, everyone knows that if repairs are needed and it's subject to a real estate transaction, these contractors are charging rush premium pricing. I mean, they're dropping the job that they're at to go do this job just to get it to close on time. So they're charging rush pricing, and it's stressful trying to get these repairs made under the gun. So sellers know about it up front. They have time to shop around, and it's much less stress. It's less stressful for the seller and for the agent. Okay. they can save money making their own repairs. Now, let's just say we went out as a home inspector and said, hey, your kitchen outlets are not GFCI protected. Okay. Well, if we do that for a buyer, then the buyer and the buyer's agent and some lenders are going to require a licensed electrician to do it. Okay. But if we do it for a seller before a buyer even comes along, before the house even hits the market, well, guess what? If they're really handy and know what they're doing, they could go to Lowe's and buy that outlet for $15 and install it themselves. Or they could get someone to do the work on the side, that knows a lot about installing outlets. Either way, they can save money, by maybe doing some repairs themselves, okay, versus having to hire a contractor. And then the last thing is, if the deal doesn't fall through, obviously they're not making more mortgage payments, so they can save money there, okay? So those are all the benefits. Now, what about the buyer's benefits? Everyone always thinks about the seller and maybe the agents when deals fall through, but they never think about the buyer. So first of all, when we do a pre-listing home inspection, buyers are getting information about houses before they make an offer on it, before they put money down. I mean, I think the way real estate is sold is kind of crazy, because buyers are making the biggest investment of their life. They sign on a dotted line to do that. And then they say, okay, let's go find out what we bought. Let's get our home inspection done. That's crazy. Like Ben would never come to me and say, man, Dave, you guys built an awesome business at Aardvark. I'm going to give you $5 million for it, sign the contract to do it, and then say, okay, Dave, let's open up the books and see what I bought. Right? It wouldn't work that way. That's not how we do business. But in real estate, that's kind of how it is. It's crazy. Okay. So by them getting more information up front with a pre-listing home inspection is much better. Okay. They worry less about spending weeks and months looking for houses and getting an offer accepted and then having, issues found at the last minute killing their deal. Okay. So that's another reason they like to see pre-listing inspection reports. If you think about it, buyers can have, over $2,000 wrapped up in the home buying process. They have the inspection cost, the appraisal cost, environmental testing, well and septics. They take time off of work to be there. They got all this money wrapped up in this house. And when the inspection's done at the last minute and the deal gets killed, they just wasted all that money. They're not getting that money back. And now they got to risk another $2,000 on the next house. So it's just much better for buyers if they can know more about houses up front. And again, in my market, we're a smaller market. It's not that big of a deal to fight traffic, but imagine being in Chicago or Atlanta or LA, and you got to drive to a house to see what it's like. And, sometimes buyers will walk in a house, they're there for 60 seconds, they turn around and leave, and they just wasted a lot of time driving to that house. And so this is a way for them, again, to narrow down their search and know if they're really interested in the house or not before they physically visit it. Okay. Now, what about home inspectors? What are our benefits to pre-listing home inspections? All right. Well, the first thing is, we get to be viewed as helping end the frustration and anger and uncertainty often found with the home buying and selling process. And, that condition alone is going to improve our relationship with realtors. Instead of being viewed as like this necessary evil for a buyer's inspection, now we're viewed as someone that's really helping the transaction. Okay. The label deal killer is eliminated. And, really, it's not, I know some home inspectors can go off the rails and say things that are crazy and maybe freak some clients out, but I don't think that's the norm. So I don't think in general that home inspectors kill deals, but I do think it's the timing of the home inspection which kills the deal. And obviously, when that buyer's inspection is done at the 11th hour and we find a bunch of deficiencies, the realtors have to kind of renegotiate the deal. They got to calm everyone down and put the deal back together. And, it's crazy that they give people an opportunity to say no after they've already said yes, but that's how they're selling real estate. And there's a better way for them to do that. Okay. Pre-sale inspections will actually increase the number of inspection opportunities. Obviously, if you do one for the seller, that's great. And then you can do an inspection on the house that seller is buying. Okay. But when you get the leads off of a listing, now that's your opportunity to do more inspections. Okay. So that's really good. And the inspector, can, make extra money doing re-inspections or updated inspections. So sometimes a seller will get the inspection done and we find a bunch of things that are wrong. and they're like, hey, don't load that report to the system. You can help market the house, but don't load the report. I want to make some repairs, and then have you come back and reassess the condition of the house. So you can charge a fee to do a reinspection, and update the report and then load it to the inspected houses system. You have an opportunity to leave your marketing materials in the house. And certainly with this program, you have an opportunity to have your sign in the yard, which, is very valuable, in a marketing sense. Okay. And, you have a USP. There's a lot of home inspectors out there that don't promote pre-listing home inspections. And one of the biggest reasons they don't do it, and this is what they tell me, is they're afraid of another inspector coming behind them and making them look bad. And my response to them is, well, if you're worried about an inspector finding something that you didn't, then you probably shouldn't be doing inspections, because it's no better if a buyer moves into a house and finds something that you missed. Right. So you got to be confident enough in this industry to do quality inspections. And, you should not be shying away from pre-listing home inspections. It's the same thorough inspection that you do for buyers. Okay. The inspector, obviously we talked about having the opportunity to leave your signs in yards for an extended period of time. Getting those leads, when you sign up for this program, you get your first lead off of a sign. I can't describe the feeling. You're pretty giddy when you get it. And when those leads come in, the conversation that you can have with those buyers is awesome. And when you sign up for this program, I actually give you scripts and tell you what I say to buyers when they text in. Okay. The other thing that you need to understand about pre-listing home inspections is how to overcome the objections. So I told you all the benefits. Now I want to teach you the objections. These are things that real estate agents will say. So if you go out and you start marketing, the concept of pre-listing home inspections, you're going to get different objections. Number one objection I've heard agents say, I don't want my sellers to have to disclose everything. I'm like, what? That's crazy. Legally, they're supposed to disclose everything. And if a real estate agent says, I don't want my seller to have to disclose everything, I mean, that kind of sounds like they want to be, hiding stuff, or they're shady or not honest. And, so I always tell agents, I'm like, first of all, they're supposed to disclose everything. And two, if your son or daughter were buying a house, would you want the seller to be, completely transparent? Absolutely, you would. And the other thing is, these things are going to be found anyway. Right. It doesn't matter if they're found up front or in the back end. They're going to be found. And the difference is, when they're found in the front end, you can be proactive and deal with these things versus reactive. Okay. Can you imagine a real estate agent standing in front of a judge, and the judge says, there's a lot of agents out there that promote pre-listing home inspections as a form of full disclosure. You didn't do that. You just relied on the seller's disclosure form. How come you didn't get a pre-listing home inspection? And then the agent says, well, I didn't want my seller to have to disclose everything. It's the stupidest comment in the world. Okay. It's easy to overcome. All right. The next one, they say, well, if I ask my seller to spend money on a pre-listing home inspection, I won't get the listing. Nothing can be farther from the truth. As a matter of fact, this is a way for agents to get listings over other agents, because now they're going to go to the listing appointment with the script that you give them, and they're going to sound unique. They're going to sound different than every other presentation that they've heard. Okay. And again, I won't go into the whole spiel on that, but we do have an awesome script. When you sign up for the program, you'll be able to give it to the agents. And this is when the magic happens. When that agent actually calls you back and says, you know what, I was kind of skeptical, but I used that script and I got the listing because of that script. That's an amazing feeling when they call and tell you that. Okay. Now, the other thing that they say is, houses are selling so fast, I don't need to do a pre-listing inspection. And they're right. Never in the history of real estate has it been this easy to sell a house. I mean, they put a house in the market and like 2 days later, they have a bunch of offers on it. And so my response to an agent is, what good does that do you if you don't have the listing? How come there's a Keller Williams sign in the yard, not your sign, or a Century 21 sign in the yard, not your sign, or a Coldwell Banker sign? Why isn't your sign in those yards? If it's the easiest time in the world to sell houses, don't you want more listings? This is a way for you to sound unique and get listings. Okay. So that's how you overcome that one. And then the last one is, well, hey, another home inspector is just going to come along later and find something the first guy didn't. And yeah, that's true. But wouldn't your real estate life be a lot easier if you went from 20 deficiencies down to one or two? And wouldn't it be a lot easier if those deficiencies weren't the deal killers? Right. So, that's how you overcome that. Any home inspector can come behind me and find something and vice versa, but it's not going to be the deal breakers. But here's something that you can do to make it even more powerful, right? You can offer protection with the inspection. Now, I know some of you don't believe in it, and that's okay. I'm not putting you down. Run your business how you want. But when you offer protection with the inspection, it's actually really awesome. And so I'll give you a couple examples. So we use the RWS warranties, and we went out, we did a pre-listing home inspection for a client, lived in their house for 10 years. And, we test all the sinks, toilets, tubs, showers, dishwasher, washing machine. We go above and beyond, the SOPs, everything drained great. Customer lived there for 10 years, never had a problem. Buyer's inspector came along and actually did a sewer scope, and they found a crack in the sewer line. Well, they were able to file a claim and get a couple $1,000s to help get that fixed. Right. So, it could be something like mold. Maybe another inspector finds mold and you didn't. Well, guess what? The client can file a claim, get the mold taken care of. Maybe it's a, leak under a sink, whatever the case may be. If it's covered by the warranties, they can come in handy. Right. And real estate agents like to hear that. But we also negotiated. What I did is I negotiated with RWS, Nathan Thornberry, to give mortgage payment protection. Now you can only offer, and this is free. You don't have to pay for this warranty. If you're a member of RWS and you're using their warranties and you're a member of inspectedhouses.com, you can basically tell real estate agents, hey, look, if another inspector comes behind me and finds something that kills the deal or delays the closing, then the seller is going to get their mortgage payment made up to $5,000 a month for 3 months. How cool is that? Right. And when you tell real estate agents that, they really love it. They're like, wow, you should see their eyes pop. So anyway, yes, inspectors can come behind you and find something that you didn't, but it should be little stuff, not like anything major if you did a good job. And if you are offering warranties, they can provide everyone a layer of protection, including yourself. And it's a really cool marketing tool. And then of course, you got the buyback guarantee. So you can always, let the agent know, hey, I offer the buyback guarantee. So any buyer that comes in and buys this house, they're going to be protected with that buyback guarantee, right? So it gives them a layer of protection and peace of mind. Now, one thing I want you to all understand, I did not create this platform to replace the buyer's inspection with a pre-listing home inspection. All right. The buyer should always get their own inspection because the condition of the house can change from when the pre-listing inspection was done until when they come along, right? And in my market, 80% of the time, buyers still get their own inspection. So we do a pre-listing home inspection, 8 out of 10 times, they still get their own inspection. I got that number because I always call the agents that I do the pre-listing for and say, hey, did the buyer get their own inspection? Yes. Did they get their own inspection? Yes. And so I tracked it. And about 80% of the time, they're getting their own inspection. So what does that mean for our industry? We just went from 1 inspection per transaction to 1.8. Think about that. That's huge. And, and right now, people are waiving inspections, which is terrible for everybody. But I created this program not to replace buyer's inspections. I created it to, for all the reasons that I've stated above. And one of the benefits for our industry is it's actually created an increase in the number of inspections per real estate transaction. And that is awesome. Okay.
Hey, Dave,
we're
coming up on the hour. I want to respect everyone's time. How about jumping to, if I'm interested, where do I go for more information, more details about the program? How do I sign up and things like that?
Right. So if you're interested, you can go to inspectedhouses.com and you can fill out the contact form. The other thing is if you text it in, you're going to get some marketing messages, and you should have, Ben, if you look at your phone, did you get a message where it says something like, to learn more about the system, whatever?
I believe I did.
Yeah. And so if you text it in, you get a link and you're going to go to a page where you can actually get a free trial, as an InterNACHI member. So it's $100 to sign up and $49 a month, but you get 3 months free if you use that link, that So if you text it in, you're going to have that link. So if you didn't text in and you happen to be watching this on a recording, scroll back, text in, experience the system and how it works, and then you'll get that link to get the free trial.
And I just put the URL, inspectedhouses.com, in the chat, so folks can go there as well.
All right.
And we'll also be sharing the video of this webinar on our YouTube channels and social media. Sign up for the Home Inspector newsletter. It'll be in there. And if you wanted to ask questions, Dave, where do people go to ask you questions? Because I see we do have a few folks asking questions, but
yeah, I can. Yeah, any kind of questions you want me to answer, I can answer now. Or you can always, friend me on Facebook and send me private messages that way. That's a great way, to contact me. And then also you could again go to inspectedhouses.com and fill out that contact form, and then I'll get back with you that way. But if you want to do it quicker than that, just send me a Facebook private message.
Awesome. And I just chatted the URL to the webinars page. So give us a few hours and this video will be up. And just like Dave said, if you wanted to get that discount, it's in the video, in the beginning of the video. And you just text that, use the text system to get that discount.
Yeah, info 31 to 574-406-0288. You learn how the system works, and then you'll get a marketing drip messages with a link to go get a free trial. It is $100 setup because we do have to purchase your lead capture number and we have costs associated, but the $49 a month, that's kind of waived. So for 3 months.
Dave Klima, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ben. I appreciate it.
I really love it that, experienced inspectors are willing to share some of their time and some of their success stories and their ideas to help others. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Are there any questions? Is there a way for me to see what questions were asked and to answer them, even if it's offline?
Yeah, I'll download the chats and the texts and the questions, and I'll email them to you.
Okay, that sounds great.
You got it.
All right. Thanks. Thank you. All right.
Thanks, Dave. Really appreciate it. Bye, everybody. Stay safe and healthy. I'll see you on the next webinar.